Hi, welcome to a Fingernail Fixer video. For this video, let's take a look at how you can not only add some different colors to your stamping design by filling in parts of the design, also how you can create some 3D elements and make your design more dimensional. Start off by picking up the stamp like you normally would. Instead of applying it to the nail, we're going to set that down and actually fill in part of the design by coloring it in with some of your stamping polish. So choose the stamping polish that you would like and just fill in between the lines as if you're coloring in a coloring book. So just really gently and carefully fill in part of your design. Here we're just kind of filling in part of the design on the Christmas balls so that we can have a multicolored look to the Christmas balls when it's finished. And when you're doing this in the salon, you could actually just set the stamper off to the side and give it the opportunity to dry while you're working on other nails in the salon. For the video, I'm just going to cut this off and save you the time of me working on something else so that you can go ahead and speed this process up. In the salon, you can work on other nails while that hangs out and dries. So let's go ahead and come back in, and our design is dry and ready to go. And we would take that stamper and go ahead and press our dry design right onto our tacky layer of the gel polish. And it's going to help pull that design right off onto the nail. And as you can see, where we picked up that stamp and then colored it in, has added that design right to the top of that colored in and gives it that nice two-tone or two-colored look. Then we can go ahead and really gently just swipe a nice thin layer of top coat over the top of it. We're not going to worry about being really careful sealing in the edges or making sure that there's top coat over the whole thing. You're literally just quick swiping a thin layer of top coat over the whole thing. This first thin layer of top coat is to protect the stamped design. Your second layer of top coat is what's going to seal the edges and protect the nail. If you've ever tried to be really careful sealing the edges, getting your top coat on, and smeared your stamping design, you know why the first layer of top coat is to protect the design. Once you've cured that first layer of top coat to protect the design, now let's come in and add a second thin layer of top coat to protect the edges of the nail, seal in the color, make sure all the edges are sealed, and get everything nice and sealed in and everything's good to go. Once we've done that, we're going to remove that top film with our IPA or 99% pure isopropyl alcohol. Get that surface nice and clean so it's not tacky anymore. And this is where the 3D element of our design is going to come in. For this, I want to give the illusion of snow having fallen on the branches, if you will, and the ornaments. So I'm going to use a white gel polish. If you're doing a different style of design or a different look, you could use a different color of gel polish. Since I want it to look like some snow has fallen, I don't want smooth lines. So I'm kind of tapping or touching the brush so that it looks like the snow is built up a little bit as it's fallen and then tapering off on the sides, kind of how snow builds up and then kind of tapers off at the edges. You'll just dot it up against the edges and taper it off down on the sides. And think about how you see snow on surfaces. If you live in an area that doesn't have snow, make sure you Google some images of snowfall so that you can see how it lands on branches or how it lands on different items, and you can see what natural settled snow looks like. That way you can mimic that in your art. And literally just lightly tap or dab the brush, because smooth lines aren't going to give you that snow look. If you do those smooth lines, they're not going to look very snowy. They're just going to look like smooth lines. So really kind of keep your brush moving in a up and down motion so that it looks a little more snowy. Also, another tip so that you get a more 3D look is to set your gel polish out before you're going to use it. So maybe set some gel polish out on your palette about the same time you pick that stamp up on your stamper and put the colors into it to start drying so that it thickens up a little bit. And that's also going to allow it to kind of stand up and be a little more 3D. That way you really get a nice 3D effect. And you don't want to put snow everywhere because it's not going to really cling and stick to absolutely everything. Some things it's going to kind of fall off of. Some things are going to be a little too thin for it to catch. Some things the wind is going to blow it off. So you just kind of want to pick and choose where you want it for your placement. Once you're satisfied with where you've placed your snow or placed your color, if you're not doing a winter design, go ahead and grab what you're going to sugar with. For this, I want it to be sparkling, so I've chosen a glitter, a micro glitter, since we're doing sugaring, and just lightly sprinkle that micro glitter over the surface and allow it to settle into the gel polish, making sure you turn the finger so that it settles into all those little nooks and crannies of the gel polish. And give it a few seconds to kind of settle in and grip in that wet gel polish, and then come back in and give it another layer of the glitter to catch any spaces that it missed the first go around. And you really just need a really light layer. Give it a few seconds again. Tap off the excess, and you're going to cure for the same amount of time you would normally cure a layer of gel polish. Bring it out, remove that top film with your IPA just like you normally would, and because we've cured it on top of top coat, this nail is completely finished and ready to go. So you've used that sugaring process to complete that 3D finished look, and you've got snow on your branches and ornaments for a fun 3D finish on top of your hand paint, which adds a cool element to your stamping. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please subscribe and add any questions in the comments below.